I got in a little trouble with the team, the Red Wings at the time. I think I maybe missed a function or something. So they put Colin Campbell in charge of skating me over in my hometown in Windsor Arena. So every day I had to go and skate and keep my conditioning up to get back in the lineup. So I told Colin, I said, his nickname's Soupy, and I said, Soupy, hang on, I'll be right back. Just told him I had to go to the restroom. So anyway, I was out there halfway through the practice. I went in the dressing room and I was having a quick cigarette, right? I was having a butt, so thinking I got to get a quick one in before I go back, sneak back on the ice. So this particular time, he happened to follow me into the dressing room, and there I was smoking. And he looked at me. He says, "Okay, that's it, Proby, you and me right now." And there happened to be a set of boxing gloves there and some headgear from the junior hockey team. They had a trainer there that was helping them with their fighting, and that was their training. They go into the dressing room and they put this gear on and they would practice fighting. So it just happened to be in the dressing room that day, and their trainer was there. And Colin said, "Okay, let's go. We're going to put that on. We're going to fight." So we put all the stuff on, and we're going to have 3-minute rounds. And we ended up in the first round. I think it lasted maybe 30 seconds. He actually hit me with a good one. He put his head down and threw a big haymaker and hit me in the head. And remember, I told you earlier how sometimes that just wakes you up and makes you pick up your game. So anyway, I realized, geez, I better do something here. I'm going to be in trouble. I hit him a couple good ones and broke his nose, and there was blood all over. So the fight was over. And the next day he showed up to the Wings practice with makeup on. He had 2 black eyes, so he put his wife's makeup on. He didn't want the players to know that I actually beat him up in a boxing match. It wasn't one of those things that I thought, geez, I want to be like Dave Schultz. I want to be a fighter in the NHL. No, for me it was, I want to be like a Bobby Orr. I want to be somebody that can score goals and be an offensive threat. Yes, at a certain point in my career, I had a reputation as being one of the tougher guys in the league. So you either had players that would come after you and try to make a name for themselves, or would stay away. So you had a little bit of both. It was a job that wasn't easy. You didn't have to, if you're a goal scorer, you just have to worry about going out there and keeping your stats up, going out and trying to score a goal, right? A fighter, like I talked about earlier, there's a lot more to it. You're constantly thinking, okay, well, who are we playing tomorrow? Who are we playing next week? Okay, next week I'm going to have to fight this guy. You're thinking that. It takes it takes its toll on you. You don't want to be embarrassed, you don't want to get hurt, but guys really, the worst things that would happen is you get busted up a little bit, but nothing. There was not really too many serious injuries from fighting, but I think the most part was just being embarrassed, and you didn't want to lose, especially in front of your hometown crowd. Well, when you're fighting, you really don't feel anything. You don't feel any emotions. It's right before the fight, or it's after the fight. It's mostly, I think, it's the big. I think it's right before the fight, the big build-up right before the fight, getting on the ice and they're skating around with that other guy, and you're going to fight him, and that's when, the nerves set in and maybe the anger kind of comes in and a lot of different emotions. And then once you get in that fight, it's almost like everything's just leaving you. And then when it's done, it's over with, and either you're feeling great because you won, or you feel really down because you lost. It's one of those things that, you go work out. You might be pissed off at something that happened earlier in the day. You go for a workout and you get it out of you. It's almost like it was an outlet for myself. Fighting on the ice, it was like an outlet. You just get rid of everything. When I started in the NHL, I was one of the bigger guys. 6'3", 225, and one of the bigger guys in the league. And now that's about average. There's some big guys, and the fighters that are in today's game are a lot bigger. So when I was coming to the end of my career and some of these young guys were coming up, it made my job that much tougher. So I still did it. I knew what my job was, and I think that's what maybe kept me in the league. So I did it right up until the end. So still did it, but it was tougher. Well, your teammates are always behind you when they see that you're about to get in a fight. They stand up on the bench and they want to see you win. I mean, that's their teammate out there, and he's fighting for the team. So they kind of rally behind you, and I think maybe they know that this player is on the team for a reason. He's on the team to help us out in whatever way he can. So I just think there's respect that comes from the other players on the team, knowing the job that we had, and it was like I said earlier, it was a tough job, and I think they knew that.